How's it going, Bremerton? Minette is really popping these days. A brand new coffee house and deli are set to open, and on this week's edition of the Beat Blast, we're going to take a look at the past, present, and future of this Bremerton hamlet. Stick with us. Welcome back to this edition of the Bremerton Beat Blast, sponsored by the Admiral Theater. Story number one today, Kim Campbell and Eric Kleiva had already brought the Nightshade restaurant to Minette a couple of years ago. Now they're opening a full-service deli and coffee house called the Manette Daily.
We are not a deli, number one. We're trying to get that word out of the vernacular. We are calling ourselves a luncheonette because we really, right now, our primary focus is going to be lunch. We're going to do about 10 sandwiches at a time. We'll have a rotating menu. Of course, espresso and ice cream. We're carrying Olympic Mountain ice cream out of Shelton. There's a lot of pride in Bremerton right now, which is great. And as a lifelong resident, practically, of Kitsap County, I've never experienced that before. And I'm just happy to be able to be here in Minette right now.
Story number two. So how exactly did Minette develop? The answer takes us back thousands of years when there were native peoples here, including the Squamish tribe, that had a fort off of what's known as Point Heron. Logging and farming became commonplace in the late 1800s, but it was in 1918 that Minette formally became a part of Bremerton. The reason was twofold. They needed a bigger water supply, and people were also starting to contemplate something better than a ferry connection, perhaps a bridge that would go over the Port Washington Narrows. So that's exactly what they built. 12 years after annexation, the first Manette Bridge opened. Story number three. The Daily is yet another sign Minette is growing. Soon, a new owner will take over and preserve the historic Manette TV building. And you know you've hit big time when the used bookstore comes to town.
I'm John, and this is Scullys Bookstore. I named the store after my dog because this is a secondhand bookstore, and my dog is a rescue. So they kind of play together, where it's about giving things a second chance. I spent most of my life working as a librarian. Now I've been around books all of my life. Minette is a really great neighborhood with a lot of great people, and I believe that this bookstore is really going to contribute to the community. Minette's really changing around right now. A lot of things are up and coming, and I thought that this store would really contribute to something that the people here want.
Story number four, as Minette has grown, so too has its people's desire to get out and play. Every Thursday night, the Minette 5K Club takes off from the Whitey Domstad Viewscape in what's become a cool community building event.
So tonight we're doing the high school route. So we meet at the Whitey Domstad Park every Thursday. We leave at 6. It's better to get here about 5:40, 5:45. We do a different route every week. We welcome everybody come out, all ages, all levels of different kind of fitness. It's more of a social experiment than it is a running club. It's for people who walk, run, jog. It's not a competition, it's not a race. It's just getting out, being social, getting fit, and doing something consistent outside.
Story number five. As part of the Bridging Bremerton festivities, the East Bremerton Rotary Club paid to sponsor Barry Blankenship, a local screen printer and artist, to do a commemorative poster of the Manette Bremerton Centennial. I got a sneak peek of this amazing work of art by Blankenship, who's worked for musicians and comedians like Jim Gaffigan.
Pretty excited to make it. It's kind of a representation of its past and a little bit of its future at the same time, kind of looking back at its heritage. I think it's but it also, the image kind of draws your eye in and there's something else to it. Anything technical like a bridge is a definite challenge because there's a lot of measurement involved. Everything I do is made by me. So I illustrate everything, I draw it, and then I hand print everything. I just love creating. I love connecting to people with art. I think it's very interesting. I can have conversations about art with people from various different backgrounds because it's a visual medium, but it's hopefully open to interpretation by anyone.
And finally, what's on tap for your weekend, brought to you by Silver City Brewery. Of course, I'm going to put a plug in for Bridging Bremerton. Hope you can make it. There's also the third annual Shift into Summer happening in East Bremerton at the Cloverleaf. Finally, those of you with pedometers, I hope you come on Saturday to Bridging Bremerton. The Manette Clinic is sponsoring a contest that encourages you to get the most steps on that day. They're going to reward you with lots of prizes from local Manette area businesses.
You're going to register at the 9/11 Memorial at Evergreen Park, And all you need is some type of device to monitor the steps you take, and you're just going to be coming in, signing up your name and your contact information and the steps you start with.
So don't forget your Fitbit or other pedometer, and we'll see you on Saturday. That's our show for this week, Bremerton. See you next time. This week's Bremerton Beat Blast soundtrack was by Sophia Faye, an up-and-coming artist here in Bremerton. Her song featured is Find a Way and was recorded at Jeff Tassin Studios.